We're dancing mad now. Greetings. Welcome. I'm back with a special before the stream. Need to hit that to turn my recording lights on. Yes. The stream tonight with Lady is still going to happen. We're going to be playing more Cinderfolk. Yes. But I mentioned that I was going to be refreshing myself on programming on the stream. And I'm like, how can I do fun programming stuff on the stream and make it kind of fun for people to watch? And I was aware of various different websites that make learning how to code into a game. I had played around with one called Code Combat for a long time, before I got annoyed with some of their development community. There was an issue that happened on the help forum. Somebody was stuck on one of the challenges that you had to program through, about making a character walk up and down through a minefield while going around obstacles like walls and stuff and not stepping on any mines. And somebody had asked why the solution that they came up with wasn't working. And so I broke it down step by step, like, okay, in this code, I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to do this, but it's actually not doing that. It's doing this instead. What you need to do is implement the code like this, and then it'll step properly and look for what to do next. And I walked through his entire code just like he was asking, explaining what his code was doing and what the program was asking him to do, and giving him like suggestions, like you might want to try thinking in this direction and see if you can implement something like that. And then he came back with newer code that worked, but it wasn't optimized, and so I helped him optimize it. And then I got a ban on the forums. They said I was giving people the solutions to their levels, and that wasn't allowed. And I'm like, well, I thought the goal was to teach people to become better programmers, and you're banning me because I'm helping instruct somebody on the code that they wrote that wasn't doing what they thought it was supposed to do. Like, I'm literally teaching this guy about programming, and then I get a ban for that. And I'm like, I don't know that I can support your website if you're willing to ban the users for teaching other users how to become better programmers. That's kind of missing the point, in my opinion. But anyway, enough about that. I found this other one. This looks really cool. They have a lot of really cool pixel art and stuff, and it does a lot of the same things. And this is my little profile, Narishm. You can see there's a little me right there with glasses. And I figured, let's go through everything that this website has to offer. And do all the little lessons and get caught up and get all the rewards and all the stuff that they offer. They've got a bunch of stuff on here, including pandas. Not what you think it is. But there's a lot of cool stuff, and I'm familiar with most all of this stuff. I mentioned Python yesterday, NumPy. This is a different thing you can do with Python. SQL, I mentioned. Generative AI. Pandas, I did not mention. Machine learning, I did. Node and React, I mentioned both of those. JavaScript and Node and React are part of JavaScript. HTML and CSS, yes. Git and GitHub and Copilot, I did mention. Command line, I didn't mention. C++, Java, data structures I did. Phaser. Phaser is another extension of JavaScript that allows for game design in web browsers. It's pretty cool. I should probably add Phaser to my JavaScript thing just to round out JavaScript entirely. Anyway, today we're going to start with Python. Bam, Python. And there's a whole bunch of different lessons here, going up to 8. The first one's called Hello World, and for completing each one of these exercises, you get experience, and you can level up. You got a little guy here. There's a bunch of different avatars that you can pick. This one has cat ears. I'm gonna pick this one because it looks kind of like my avatar from FF14. And then there's badges when you complete the chapters. And cheat sheets. Oh, these are cool. And then you can go to the community and ask for help. Ask questions in the community. Okay, so yeah, if you get stuck, you can go ask the community, hey, I'm stuck. Help me unstuck. Okay, so these are probably going to go fairly quickly and give you the answer. Let's actually go back. If I just click this. There's a little cutscene that happened before. I wonder how I can reset it. If I sign out and sign back in. Oh, that's the wrong. Oh no. Get started. Oh. Aha. Oh, thank you. Ooh. That's cool. Ada Lovelace. From punch cards to the moon landing. Funny enough, the punch card moon landing computer stuff also written by a woman. What does the future hold? AI writing itself. This is where you come into play. Yes, you. Me? Ah. Builders and dreamers. I like that. Just like me, yes. Brick by brick, something. It's up to you to protect it. Your very own coding journey is about to unfold, but it won't be easy. You'll face fun times and tough bugs, and make awesome friends along the way. Happy coding. Okay, I already have an account. Let me log in. Let me hide the screen while I log in. Kaboop! Ha! Hi, Narishm. So happy to see the little computer. It talks. Okay. Make a Baldur's Gate 3 mod? That looks fun. I might try that later on, but right now, Python. Okay, setting up. Welcome to the first chapter of The Legend of Python. The programming language we are learning is called Python, created by a developer named Guido van Rossum in the early 90s. That is true. Python is designed to be easy for us to read, which makes it the perfect coding language for beginners. It's also super versatile and used in the following areas: data analysis and visualization, artificial intelligence, machine learning, web development, and more. All the code we write in this course will be in Python files with the .py extension, and we write them inside a code editor. This A code editor is a text editor where we can write and execute code, and it formats it fun, so you don't have to do like boring things like I did when I first started learning how to code. There's a code editor on the right side created just for you. This one is pointing at it. Let's give it a try. Copy and paste this line of code onto line 3. How about I just, I can just type it. Print hi. So, it automatically brackets. It automatically, okay. Hi. Run. Then press the run button, wait 1 to 2 seconds, it should appear in the terminal if you did it correctly. Hi, yes, it appears in the terminal. You're now ready for the journey ahead. Press the submit answer button and then next to continue. Yay, confetti. I earned 10 experience. You got it. Press next to continue. Print hello world. Okay. Hello world. Is that what's going to tell me to print? Oh, it says print howdy. I'm going to print greetings because that's my thing. Greetings. Howdy. Okay, and then run. This is the first program you always build, Hello World, to show you how to print something out to the screen. Oh, they have a hint. You can open the emoji picker, space, Windows button, and period. What? I didn't know Windows had that. I'll be using emojis everywhere now. Nah. Greetings. Oh, and they have a walkthrough video that shows you how to do it. Oh, cool. So they actually show you, if you get stuck, what it is you need to do to pass it. And they have the finished file for you. That is awesome. You report a bug, notifications. At 150 XP, you can unlock an AI companion to help you with coding. That is cool that they have help built into it. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. Let me double check and make sure that everything here is going properly. I think it is. Let me pop over here. Over here. Oh, over here. There we go. Yeah. The OBS was looking strange for a moment, so I had to verify that things were working. Okay, submit answer. Yay, confetti. Line by line. Python is run one line at a time from top to bottom. That is called procedure. We can output multiple messages using multiple print functions. For example, if you want to print out 2 simple greetings, morning Dharma, evening sunny, this will output morning Dharma, evening sunny. Yes. Suppose we want the output to look exactly like the pattern below. How can you do that? Okay, well, let's first we'll need to take the print command. That has 4. And this looks like it's block, so we want 7 space 8 space 9 space 10. And then we want 4 space 5 space 6, but then we want to go back to here. I wish this had a cursor and just kind of space it like that. Then we got 2 space 3, and we want to go back here. Just kind of space out like that. And then we've got one. Just kind of space out like that. Actually, let me do this for a second. I think I know where the cursor might be. Okay, and run. And now we're gonna print out that right there. If it works. Did I break it? Oh no, did I break it? Okay, let's refresh the page. Ah, there we go. Okay, and now we have a cursor. Yeah, I think I did break it. Okay, let's see. Run. Yes, bam, there we go. Nice. So we printed out the special instruction down there. Likely take some trial and error. Nah, I know how to do that. We can. There's actually more efficient ways to do that rather than just 4 different print statements. But I've already ran that, so let's submit the answer. Yay, confetti. Next, what's next? Comments. Yes, all codes should have comments. This is a comment. Hi. Oh, is this also a comment? This is also a comment. I can comment. Oh, I am a commenter. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. Oh, block letters. Oh, block letters. Huh? One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. So if I just delete that. Okay. Bam, look at that. Oh, look what I did. Introducing errors into the code. So many better ways to do this. Actually, this right here is okay. We're just gonna print a big N. Actually, if I'm doing this right, I should do it like that to make it symmetrical. Print a big N. Bam! N for Nari. Submit answer. Yay! So far, the first like 4 lessons have all been the same thing. Just print. Create a blank letter.py program in this exercise. You'll write a letter to your future self in Python. Ooh. We will return the letter when the time is right. Oh my god, we're so proud of you. Congratulations, you made it to the end of chapter 1. Yes, here's a refresher on what we went over. The print function and comments. Yes. One more thing. Create a blank letter.py program. Okay, how do I make a blank program? Snail mail? What is this? Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I guess I just erase it. What is today's date? Today is October 3rd, 2025. How are you feeling right now? I am feeling fine. I have a magic heat pillow. Yes. I am refreshing myself on learning how to code. A message to your older, wiser, and programmer self. You should now remember how to type things. Your favorite emoji to spice it up. Oh my, okay. We got the Windows thing. Tachi, no. Tree. Aha! Bam! This is the tree. Okay, so some people may have noticed that sometimes in some places there's an emoji tied to my name, and it's this tree. And what I cannot remember, Japanese wishing tree. Tanabata. It's the Tanabata tree. It's used in something called the Star Festival in Japan, and you can see there's a little red like tag tied to the tree. You write down your dreams on the little tag, and you put it up on the tree. Yeah. And then we run that annex. File error. What? You didn't print anything? Because I forgot to put everything inside the print command. Okay, this is what we'll do. Programming is copy and paste the game. I forgot one. There we go. Haha, I have a magic heat pillow. Yes. Submit the answer. Yay! Next. The jams. I've got 60 XP. The Earth badge. Oh, it spins, kinda. Set up your local development environment with Python. I've already got this set. Did I read the article? Oh, it shows you how to set up Python. And Visual Studio Code. Okay, yeah. I've already got this environment and I've got Python on my system. hotkeys and key bindings. I've got the bindings. I've got the pylons. I've got both pylons and Jupiter installed. Yes, and I've got pip the package installer. Yeah, I've done this. Chapter 2, variables. We're gonna learn about data. Data types. In programming, variables are used for storing data values. Each variable has a name and holds a value. Think of it as a box. Slap a label and it can store stuff. Yes. Look at the little data boxes. A variable name can consist of letters, numbers, and the underscore. These are all valid variable names and values. Name, Erlock Bachman, user ID, bunch of numbers, progress, this, XP60, verified, true. The equal sign means assignment. We're assigning the string value Erlich Bachman to the variable name. We're assigning the number value this to the variable user ID. We're assigning the number value 0.75 to the variable progress, and the number value 60 to the variable XP. We're assigning the true value true to the variable verified. You can also change the name of the variable and print it out. Print XP, output 80. Yeah. Here we are assigning the number value 70 to variable XP, then we're assigning the number value 80 to the same variable and printing it out. Integer, or as my programming teacher called it, integer, because he was Indian. He is Indian. He is still Indian. He didn't stop being Indian. He's really cool. Named Rahul. Really awesome dude. But everything was an integer. The integer, int, is a whole number, has no decimal point, and contains the number 0. This is really heroic music for programming. Make sure that... Why is mode 1 off? Mode 1 should not be off. Because it shows you what... It shows you what song is playing. Okay, so integers, these are whole numbers. Float, or floating point numbers, these are decimal numbers. String, or str, string is, let me make sure I get the name right. Linear and non-linear. Okay, yes, I had gotten the name right. String is actually not a variable in the strictest sense. It is a data structure. It is an array of characters. Character is a basic data type. A string is an array of characters. It is what's called a linear data structure. Boolean, this is true or false. No instructions in this exercise, you get a freebie. Press submit answer and next. Optional, create 4 variables in the code editor, okay. Okay, so I imagine is int, int my int equals 21. There you do it. Or you just type the names. Oh, does it auto assign? Okay, let's test this. Oh. Ah, okay, yes. So it auto assigns variable types on here. Lovely. And what was the other string? Okay. Oh, I do not want to put a star there. I don't think Python has pointers, but I don't want to accidentally start pointing at memory addresses. Especially if they have like a C++ thing, which I think they do. Like, be careful about putting asterisks next to variable names. Don't do it. We might go with the asterisks again. I stole the ending brackets from that one. I should probably take a moment to talk about my naming convention right here. There are different types of naming conventions. I forget what the underscore one is called. Snake case is what the so you would have some people that have like this, and this is called snake case. There's some people that use dashes, and this is called kebab case. There's some people that use a capital letter at the beginning of every one, and this is called that old defunct programming language. Oh my god, what is it? Pascal. Yes, that's Pascal case. Pascal. So this is Pascal case. This is snake case. This is kebab case. And this one that I'm using right here is called camel case. And this is just different ways of doing the variable names. I prefer camel case, just because I really don't like the standard across most all of programming. Greetings, Colin. Welcome. But the standard across most all of programming is snake case. That is the standard, and like when you borrow libraries and stuff, 99% of the time it's going to be written in snake case. So get used to that, and if you want your code to match your library's code, adopt snake case. I personally prefer camel case because of the way that I name my variables in my code. I don't like the look of kebab case. I don't like the look of snake case, but I'm used to how snake case looks. I like camel case because I put the data type in the name of my variable. Like, I want this to be an integer, and you don't declare your data types in Python. You just type the name of it, and then what you assign to it makes the data type what it is. Because of that lack of declaration, and because you may be using these at different points in the code and you can't see what your declarations were, I put the name of the type of the integer in front. This is why I use camel case. Because the first part of all of my variables is going to be the data type that is supposed to be in that variable. And then the variable name. Camel case works perfect for this. All lowercase for the type of variable, and then the first letter of each word in the name capitalized. So whenever you see my code is going to be written with camel case variables as opposed to other types of variables. So now people should know. And now when I print this, it should print out all 4 of the variables that I have. Haha. 21 true pi mwahaha. Yes. Okay, submit enter. Yay, confetti. Oh, it turned white. Oh no. My eyeballs. My dark has gone away. Rubber duck. What does that do? Quack quack. Quack. Quack quack quack. Okay. Okay, that's the thing. If I refresh this, can I have my dark mode back, please? Please? I will force you to refresh. Editor themes. Okay, continue learning. How can I theme? How does one theme? There's the quack quack. Theme. Oh. Why is this not dark moding? It was dark moding before. Okay, and now it's in variables, yes. Temperature. Does this one just always stay white? Okay, I guess we're just sticking with that now. Operators! We got some smooth operators. The NWO music doesn't really lend itself to that. Computers are incredible at doing math calculations. Now we have learned about variables, let's use them with arithmetic operators to calculate things: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Take a look at this code that calculates a 20% tip by calculating the total and then multiplying by a float. I was expecting that to have more words. I don't know whether to write this using parentheses to calculate the total and tip in one line. Okay. Another way to write this is using parentheses to calculate total and tip in one line. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Then Python parentheses have the highest order of operations, just like PEMDAS. This right here, so many people now don't know what the order of operations is. The people that get basic math problems wrong because they fail to understand the additive and multiplicative properties and the order of operations is astounding. It's astounding. It stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. But there's a very interesting thing here. It's 6 letters, but it's 4 levels. This is the math explanation here. Parentheses happen first. Exponents and roots happens next, but on the same level. Multiplication, division, and modulus operations happen next. Addition and subtraction happen last. It's very important to note that although 6 things are listed in the explanations here, there are only 4 levels of operation here, and some things happen on the same level. So even though it says multiplication and division, if a division happens before multiplication in the line, you still do the division first instead of doing the multiplication first, because multiplication and division have the same weight in the structure. I have seen people follow PEMDAS and get problems wrong because the multiplication came after the division in the same little section, and they just did the multiplication first. No, you have to divide first, and then the result of the division is what gets multiplied. You don't multiply first and then go back and do the division. That is not how the order of operations works. I've had many arguments with people that I know about how mathematics work. It is baffling. Like, what happened to our education system after I was out of it that people don't understand basic mathematics anymore? And this is basic mathematics. Like, even if most people don't know what a modulus operation is, or they don't understand the concept of floor division, it's still basic math. So, yeah, order of operations. This is important. I'm going to comment this so that it stays in the code. This is how the order of operations works. Okay, instructions: create a temperature program that converts a number from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Use the current temperature of Brooklyn, New York, where Codédex is based in Fahrenheit. Use the following formula and write it out in Python. Celsius equals Fahrenheit minus 32 divided by 1.8. Print out the converted temperature. Ooh, and a temperature emoji. And I love that they have all the hints and everything right there. Okay, first let's get the temperature in Brooklyn, New York. It is 67 degrees Fahrenheit in Brooklyn. I'm gonna F11 this. F11 this. There we go. Okay, 67 degrees Fahrenheit in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, so we want int f temp, and we're gonna make that 67 degrees. So there's my temperature, and then we need int c temp, and we're going to instantiate that to 0, and then we're gonna have int c temp equals int f temp, and if this highlights, no, okay, if int temp minus 32 divided by 1.8, and then we should print int c temp. Okay, that should do the trick. 19 degrees. Yes. I'm not rounding it up. It's just this is float. Oh, nope, that's not float. You know, this is float. Yeah. So it's 19.4 degrees Celsius. What is the, what is the trimmer tint? Does it tell me here? No. Is it in the solution? No. I don't know what it is in hold on, let me bum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum ba-bum ba-dum ba-bum. Okay, so you just typecast it. Okay. So yeah, I can let this stay in because I'll just typecast it. And typecasting is basically I do this. And that means take the number that's generated in that side there, turn it into an int. And that should return 19. No, because I have to do, okay. Yeah, we do this. We take that out. And that's right, we do this, and then we do equals, and we got that, and then we do that. And that'll generate 19. Yeah. Bam. So the temperature is 19 degrees Celsius. And then I can do this, I think. Oh, I have to convert it into a string. Okay. That's outside the scope of what it's asking me to do. Ba-dum. Okay, yeah. That's it. That's the mid answer. Yay! You got it right. I know. I'm awesome like that. BMI modulo. Another operator often trips people up is a modulo operator. Modulus, yes. The modulo operator doesn't give you the full result. Doesn't give you the result of a division. It gives you the remainder of the division. Yes. 5 divided by 3 is 1 with a remainder of 2. 5 divided by 2 is 2 with a remainder of 1. 5 divided by 1 is 5 with a remainder of 0. We won't use this right now, but we'll come back to it later. This is how modulus works. We won't use it right now. We'll use it later when you don't remember how modulus works. Exponents, I think a lot of people remember. Oh, there's an exponential function. Is there a floor division function? Oh, I have to test this. For div equals 13. It would be // I suppose. Float. Or div answer. Instantiate that to 0, and then let's do some floor division. That should work. Oh, okay. So it's 2.6, but in theory, that's floor division right there. Oh my God, they have floor division. Okay. it's not mentioned over here. Floor division. Okay, so for people who don't know what floor division is, it's division without a remainder. It's just rounded down. So if we print this out twice, like this. So you have the division, which is 2.6. So 13 divided by 5 is 2.6. But if you do it as floor division, it's going to round it down to the next whole number, which in this case is 2. It's really awesome that floor division is in Python. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Written math, we must see an exponent as a superscript number like above, but typing superscripts isn't always easy on modern keyboards. True. Since exponentation is super similar to multiplication, Python uses a double multiplication. Okay, yeah. Asterisk, asterisk. That's the exponent. Let's give it a try. The body mass index was created by Belgian mathematician in the 1850s and is used by health and nutrition professionals to quickly estimate the body fat in certain populations. The formula is pretty simple. Take an individual's weight in kilograms and divide it by their height in meters squared. Create a BMI.py program that calculates your own BMI. Also known as BMI is an archaic and oversimplified way to measure personal health. It was created by a mathematician, not a doctor. That is true. That is true. Okay, so, yeah, I'm gonna leave my floor division example in there. And I'm gonna create some more. Yes, people do run into problems, but I find that the people that have problems with floor division also have a problem with how modulus works, and it comes from, I guess, just ignorance of mathematics, really. I need a BMI integer. I need mass integer, and I need a height integer. Oh no, my keycap popped off. Let me go down here where this is not. It was the delete keycap. The pop. I hate tangent. I hate half keycaps because if I clip the side of the key, it pops the keycap off. I didn't realize that this keyboard was a half keycap keyboard when I bought it, or I would have got a different version of it. But yeah, I don't like half keycaps because keycaps pop off if I clip the key from the side. Okay. This is simple enough. I need to instantiate these because I am old school and I thought I popped the keycap off again. I'm just gonna make up numbers. Let's say 85. That works. Boom, 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 boom. Why is it so far away? So I got my floor division test and then BMI. That is true. I can see how that would be. I need you. Greetings, Lojo. Welcome, welcome. Just for clarity of code, I'm gonna differentiate this. BMI equals mass divided by height. So we need to print. In fact, I don't even need this. I just need to go int mass divided by int height squared. This doesn't seem right. I mean, isn't body mass supposed to be, BMI supposed to be like a whole number? Also, yes, happy Friday, Lojo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's mass divided by height squared, right? Yeah. What happens if I take these parentheses out? I mean, it shouldn't actually change. Yeah. Let me double check the BMI formula. I mean, is that right? It's 0? It's not. It's 27.7 according to this. Oh, wow. Okay. Body mass index. That doesn't help with the problem that I'm having, as this doesn't seem to be correct. Mass, I have mass, 85 kg, and height, 170 cm, right? In meters. That would make a difference. 29 point. Okay, yeah, that's better. Yeah, it does say meters, and I put it in centimeters. That would matter. Okay, there we go. Submit answer. Yay, I got it right. The Pythagorean theorem. Funny thing. When I was testing out of high school, when I took the exit exam to decide whether or not I graduate, I failed one question on the exam, and it was a question on the Pythagorean theorem, but I don't remember how I failed it. That was a long time ago. It was like 2001. Anyway, I'm gonna take a quick little break and I will be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. I figured out how to do, I was figuring out how to do the theme thing. They added a new button down here next to Mr. Duck that lets me pick the theme. So I have a bunch of different options for theme. I think I'm gonna go with this one, maybe. That one looks kind of cool too. Black is also a choice. I kind of like how this one looks. I don't know. Black seems to show up a little bit better on stream. We'll go with black because it shows up better on the stream. I don't know. Okay. Anyway. If you slip through your geometry class, the Pythagorean theorem is a relationship between three sides of a right triangle named after the Greek philosopher Pythagoras, born around 570 BC. The Pythagorean theorem looks like this. C equals the square root of a squared and b squared. A is the length of the short side, b is the length of another short side, and c is the length of the hypotenuse, or the long side. The hypotenuse is the longest, okay, yeah, the longest I've tried. Create a hypotenuse.py program that asks the user for two numbers, a and b, and then calculates the hypotenuse c. Bonus, if you're looking for a harder challenge, try the quadratic formula. Oh, I don't want to code the quadratic formula. We'll just stick to the Pythagorean theorem. Thanks. Oh, I can ask for the input at declaration. Lovely. We're just gonna call this int a, and that equals int. So we're typecasting again. Input. Boop. Please enter the value for a. And then nice, okay. And we'll just copy this because programming is all about copy pasta. Please enter the value for b. Okay, now we're grabbing the values. Lovely. And now we can do the actual math right here at the level here, and we want to put this in the parentheses because we're gonna square root the whole thing. So we have int a squared plus int b squared, and then square root is 0.5. Okay, so that should be the Pythagorean theorem. Please enter the value for a. Well, we're gonna go 3 because I know what a 3, 4, 5 triangle is. The answer should be 5. 5. Bam. Okay. Booyah! It works. Yeah. So there you go. The reason this way, if you are mathematically challenged, let me explain to you how to do a square root when you only have exponents, right? So if you are doing a square, you are taking something and raising it to 2, right? But if you want to do the square root, you have to do a fourth of that. So instead of raising it to 2, you would raise it to 0.5. And then that would instead take the square root instead of the square, like I did right here. So I'm raising this whole thing to 0.5 to do the square root of it instead of the square. So yeah, right now, still fairly simple examples. Does this match the other blocks here? Nope. Does this one match the other blocks? No. No, we don't. Okay, I changed my mind. We're going back to this one. Submit answer. Confetti! Yay! You got it! Lovely. What's next? Currency. Congrats! Woohoo! You've learned variables in Python. Here's a recap of everything we've learned in this chapter. Data types, integer, floating point, string, and bool. And as I noted before, string is not technically a basic data type. String is actually a data, what's called a linear data structure. It is an array of characters. Arithmetic operators plus addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, the modulus operator, the exponentation operator, the input and int functions. So the input function, which is to get user input, and the int, which is what is called typecasting, to change a integer from one type to another, a variable from one type to another. We just got home from a fun trip to South America, specifically Colombia, Peru, and Brazil. There's some leftover cash in Colombian pesos, Peruvian soles, and Brazilian reais. I think that's how you say that. Soles and reais. Create a currency.py program that asks the user for the amount they have in pesos, soles, and reais, and calculates the total in USD. Make sure to use the current exchange rates for these. The output should look something like this. Cha-ching! Now you have the total in US dollars. Once you are done, post a screenshot of your code to Twitter by clicking the icon below. Then head over to Codex Currency and review another learner's work. Be supportive. Codex Currency. Okay, well. First let's declare some variables. So I need conversion rates, okay. So a peso is currently 0.054 US dollars. Uh, 0.29 US dollars for the soles. Make sure I got those right. Yes, and yes, and bam. Okay. All right, and then the exchange rate should be the currency divided by exchange rate. Simple enough. And then we just add the three together. Okay, so currency divided by the exchange rate. So we could just put in the input function right here. How many pesos do you have? And we can capitalize that word. And this is going to be an int. And we're going to divide that by 0.054. And that's going to give us the value in dollars. How many soles do you have? And this is 0.229. And I just realized these are not ints, these are floats. This is okay. Oh, so you do actually have to define to instantiate your integers or your variables up here. Yeah, that makes sense. How many pesos do you have? We have 3,600 pesos. How many soles do you have? I don't know. We have 150. How many reals do you have? We have 210. That's a lot of money. In fact, I should probably put some formatting right there. You have I suppose I could do this. Does that work? How many pesos do you have? We have 125. How many soles do you have? We have 45. How many reals do you have? We have 20. Okay, yeah, so that does work. And then you can also truncate that down to 2, but I'm not sure how to do that in Python. Let me do a Google search. Oh, there's a round function. Okay. Okay. So we want to round that 2 decimal places. Okay, so I did something wrong here. Oh. Yeah, that's what I did wrong. How many pesos do you have? We have 120 pesos. How many soles do you have? We have 45. How many reals do you have? Then we have 10. Argument 2 must be str, not int. Really? I thought argument 2 was how many decimal places. Oh. Duh. I put that in the wrong spot. How many pesos do you have? Okay. These are the problems you have with the program. And when you type things in the wrong spot and you get an error message and you're like, why is there an error message? Oh my god, what typo did I make in the thousands of lines of code I just did without testing anything? Yes, how many pesos do I have? Let's say I have 500 pesos. How many soles? Let's say I have 20 and I have 10. You have $9,380.86. And I know I didn't have to format that, but I did. Cha-ching! Once you are done, post a screenshot of the code to Twitter by clicking the icon below. Bam! Ba-bum-bum-ba-da-bum-ba-bum. Currency post. View my post. Currency. Codédex currency. Oh, do I actually have to take the screenshot? Okay. Let's delete that and do it proper. Pictures, screenshots. And we click this button, and then I add picture from screenshots, which is here. Bam! Haha! my code goes a little bit above and beyond what they actually ask for you to do, but I'm sure it's okay. Codédex currency. What do you want me to do? Review another's work. Be supportive. Codédex currency. Oh, okay. Let's look at Preto 31. Oh, nice. Nice. Reply. Heart. I do not speak Spanish. Hopefully he understands English enough to know what nice means. Why are you not full screen? There you go. A submit answer. Confetti, yay! You got it. Chapter 2 complete. It's a bop, though. You earned a new badge, the memory badge. Lovely. Errors in Python. Next up, chapter 3. Your greeting wasn't registered? Was it not? The music just stopped. Coin flip. Control flow. Yes. Oh, the top part is switching between the greetings and the song that is currently playing. So yeah, it's just cycling back and forth between those two. Coin flip, control flow. So far, every Python program we've encountered has only had one path of execution. They all execute one line at a time from top to bottom. That's called procedural. Every time you run them, it gives you the same result. Sometimes we want our programs to do different things based on different conditions. It's like going down a highway and there's a fork ahead with the signs that read Albuquerque left, Phoenix right. Okay? The T in the wall traverse road leads southward. In the control flow chapter, we'll explore how programs make decisions by evaluating different conditions and start introducing logic to our code. Yes, I mentioned this yesterday, that control flow basically consists of 5 things, and that every program ever is based on these 5 things. The if statement, the switch statement, the for loop, the do loop, and the for loop, the while loop, and the do while loop, or the do loop, as I tend to call it. Now we'll learn about random and randint. Create a coin flip program and type in the following: import random, num random randint 0 1 generates a random number that's either 0 or 1. If num is less than 0.5, print heads, else print tails. Now we will learn more about random and randint later in the chapter. Okay. So what we are doing is importing a library called random that has the random and the randint into it. And int num equals random. And of randoms, I want a random integer that is either 0 or 1. And that generates random number that is either 0 or 1. If num is greater than 0.5, Oh, right, I called it int num. Ah, there we go. Heads. Tails. Heads. Heads. Tails. So yeah, it's flipping a coin. I mean that is a nice way to introduce an if statement. Just a coin flip. Yeah, submit answer. Bam, there we go. Confetti. Yay. Press next to continue. Grades. If statement. An if statement is used to test a condition for truth. If the condition evaluates to true, the code in the if statement in the if part is executed. If the condition evaluates to false, that code is skipped. If condition, code inside, right. For example, if the grade variable is greater than 60, if grade is greater than 60, print you passed. Technically no, because 60 is an F in the US. The code inside the if statement must be indented, preferably by 2 spaces. Most IDEs or integrated design interface, which is what this thing is, will do that automatically. Once you do a statement and something is inside of it, it'll automatically do the indentions for you. Else is an optional. Okay, I'm glad that they note that else is optional within the if statement. You can leave it out entirely, and if the statement doesn't get cleared, just nothing will happen. If the condition evaluates to true, the code in the if part is executed. If the condition evaluates to false, the code in the else part is executed. That's why it's called an if-else statement in a lot of places. The code inside the else clause must also be indented. I don't know if you can do it in Python, but in C++ you can inline if statements if they are small enough. Holy moly, because the class's average was super low on the test, the teacher just added a curve with test grade. Create a grades.py program that checks whether the grade is above or below 55. Stop by creating a variable called grade and give it a value between 1 and 100. Write an if-else statement for the following. If grade is greater than or equal to 55, print you passed, else print you failed. After you run the code, change the grade's value and rerun it. Do this a couple of times to make sure it's working as intended. Well, we can random number that. Nope. We want to, I think it's include random. Let me pop back to the previous one real quick. Import, it's import, okay. There we go. We're gonna import random, and we're gonna have int grade equals random dot rand int, and we're going to generate a number between 0 and 100, and then if grade is greater than 55, you passed. Otherwise, you failed. Okay. I should also print the grade. Okay. Your grade is 83. You passed. Your grade is 90. You passed. Your grade is also 90. You passed. Your grade is 64. You passed. Your grade is 52. You failed. Your grade is 57. You passed. Simple enough. Simple enough. That is how random and if else works. Yes. Submit answer. Yay! We got it. pH levels. Relational operators. Okay, so we got the relational operators. A lot of times inside the conditions, you are comparing two values. To do so, you need a different type of operator called relational operators that compare values. The equal to, the not equal to, the greater than, the less than, the greater than or equal to, or the less than or equal to. One or more elif statements, short for else if statements, can be optionally added between the if and the else to provide additional conditions to check. Sometimes 2 is simply not enough. Okay, so they've added a special keyword called elif. In other programming languages, there is something called else if, and it's literally just putting an if statement inside of an else block. They, instead of like having it indented over and over and over, they just put the two keywords together, else and if, and you can trigger a new if statement by doing that. And here they have grades to check for particular grades. The A, B, C, or D, and then the F. In chemistry, pH is a scale used to identify the acidity or the basicity, that's a word I haven't heard in quite a while, of a liquid. Create a pH levels program that checks whether the pH level is basic, acidic, or neutral. First, create a pH value and ask the user for a value between 0 and 14. Write an if, elif, or else statement that if the pH value is greater than 7, output basic. If it's less than 7, output acidic. Otherwise, output neutral. Got it. Okay, since it specifically wants me to ask the user, this is what we're going to do. We have input int pH, and this is going to be input what is the pH level, P capital H level space, and that needs to be an int. So we need to typecast that to an int, like that. And then we have if pH is greater than 7, we're just going to print basic. If int pH is less than 7, oh, that's right, that's part of the syntax. Oh, yeah. So that should only print neutral if the given number is 0. Oh. So it would technically never output neutral. If it's, say, 11, that's base. That's interesting, because with this logic, it will never output neutral. Yeah, it will never output neutral. Unless we change this to 6. And then we specifically give it the number 7, it will output neutral. I wonder if that is an oversight on their part, that they wanted to put a neutral in here, but they accidentally didn't do it. Okay, but by lowering the... I don't know enough about the pH scale to know if 7 is neutral or not. Actually, no, if you do that and into 7, it'll do the same thing, right? Yeah, so 7 will be neutral. Yeah, so they had their logic right. Yeah, okay. So I guess 7 is the neutral point. Everything else is either acid or base. Okay, yeah, so yeah, they had the logic right. My brain just didn't comprehend the logic temporarily. Yay! Confetti. You got it! Magic 8-ball! In Python, modules are not files containing Python code that can be imported inside another Python program. The Python standard library contains well over 200 modules that we can use. We can use the randInt function from a module called random to generate a random number from a range. But first, let's import this module so we can use its functions, import random. Next, we'll create a variable to store a randomly generated value, declare a variable called num, and assign it the function call, 1 to 9. Okay, so we're going to import the random. And we're going to generate a random number between 1 to 9 and assign that in there. And then we're just going to print the number. Okay, try running this code. We're just going to get a different number each time. 4, 4, 5, 1, 1, 4. Oh no, our dice is weighted toward 4s. Okay, the Magic 8-Ball is a popular office toy and children's toy invented in the 1940s for fortune telling and advice seeking. It's an oversized 8-ball with some of the following answers. Yes, definitely, it is decidedly so, without a doubt. Reply hazy, try again, ask again later, better not tell you now. My sources say no. Outlook, not so good. Very doubtful. Create a Magic 8.py program that can respond to any yes or no questions with a different answer each time it executes. It should have the following format. Question, question, Magic 8-Ball, answer. Question, is Codédex better than Udemy yet? I would say yes. Answer better not tell you now. Okay, so they want me to use an if statement to grab the random number. For the different options, but I can think of two ways to do this better than an if statement. Because this is exactly what the switch statement was made for. This is a switch statement thing. But then there's also an indexed array where you can just store. Oh no. Where you can just store each one of these values in an array with the number already assigned to it, and then just generate the number and then pull it straight out of the array, and you don't have to put logic in to sort that out. Index array Python. Let me see if it's implemented. I'm curious if it's implemented outside of the data structure that does this specifically. And technically, you just make an array of the strings, and that should work too, because they are auto indexed. Oh no, music. Okay. So to implement this in a couple of different ways, I SDR 8 all answers. And then I believe arrays are the square brackets. And then definitely. And then it is decidedly so. And without a doubt. Apply. See, try again. Okay, day. Ask again later. Sources say no. All right, so now we have an array that has all of that stuff. Arrays are 0 indexed, so we want to create a random number between 0 and 8. So we have our 8-ball answers, and we have a random number between 0 and 8. Now that should, yes, without a doubt. Ask again later. My sources say no. It is decidedly so. Yes, definitely. Okay, so we know we've grabbed the first one. And the last one was very doubtful. So if we get very doubtful, or when very doubtful shows up, we know we will have grabbed the last one. Very doubtful. Okay, so it's grabbing all of the answers out of the array. And so this is completely skipping the logic portion because I'm just doing it with a random number in an array. So we're just gonna do this. Print. What is your question? Okay. Am I awesome? My sources say no. Okay. Okay, so I need to format this a little bit. Question. Tell me how many spaces there are. 7. Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely. I like that answer much better. Okay. Subtract 2 from that. Oh, I can just line it up perfectly right there. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then, oh, is it backslash n for new line? Yes, it is. Question, am I awesome? Magic 8 Ball? My sources say no. Wow. Wow, 8 Ball. Wow. Anybody have a question? Have a question for the 8 Ball? So I didn't do this the way that they intended for it to be done, because they wanted you to do it with a big if statement, even though this particular exercise would have been much better to demonstrate the switch statement than the if statement. And I bypassed that entirely by just using an array. Just bypass all of the logic and just let the random number pull directly from an array, and you don't have to waste the compute cycles doing it. Submit my answer. Yay! Do they just accept anything that I type in here? I don't think any. Ooh, AI coding companion. Oh, it's a little thingy. Oh, you got it. Next. The cyclone. Logical operators. And or not. Oh, we're going bitwise. Okay. I'm going to take a quick little break and I will be right back. bum 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 bum. The cyclone. Also, I'm back. Hello. I was reading this and I laughed and choked. If hunger is greater than 4 and anger is greater than 1, print hangry. That's funny. If coffee is greater than 0 or bubble tea is greater than 0, print a happy face. If not tired, print time to code. Okay, we're talking about logical operators now. And or not. And or not. Logical operators or the Boolean operators. Logical operators, also known as Boolean, okay, yeah, combine and evaluate two conditions. They are and, or, and not operators. And returns true if both conditions are true and returns false otherwise. Or returns true if at least one of the conditions is true and false otherwise. Not returns true if the condition is false and vice versa. Here are some examples, I already went through them. The tired variable, if the tired variable is not true, then the program prints time to code. Or you could just say, instead of saying not true, you could just say false. You might be wondering, and or are awfully similar. How do I remember the differences between the two? Well, this is where English comes in. Let's break it down in a table form. A, B, A and B, A or B. A and B is both false. A and B is false. A or B is false. A and B, A is false, B is true. A and B is false. A or B is true. A is true, B is false. A and B is false. A or B is true. A is true, B is true. A and B is true. A or B is true. Instructions. Since 1927, the Cyclone roller coaster has delighted visitors at Coney Island, Brooklyn. We are now installing a new entry system. The height requirement is 137 centimeters and the cost is 10 credits, and need your help writing the program for it. Create a new file called thecyclone.py. Ask the user what their height and how many credits they have, and store the values on the height variable and a credits variable. Use a combination of relational and logical operators to create the rules. If they are tall enough and have enough credits, print enjoy the ride. If they have enough credits but they aren't tall enough, print you're not tall enough to ride. If they are tall enough but don't have enough credits, print you're poor. No, I'm kidding. You don't have enough credits. Else print a message saying they have not met either requirement. You are both short and poor. Go away. Okay. This is crack myself up. This is simple enough. Okay. We need int height, and that needs to be int input. How tall are you in centimeters? Int credits. How many credits do you have? Okay, and then we've got our height and our credits. Okay. If int height is greater than 137 and int credits is greater than 10, print enjoy the ride. Oop. Else if it height is greater than yeah 137 and int I mean I'll just use not here, right? I need an equal sign here, greater than or equals to 10. If it's less than 10, print. You don't have enough credits. If int height is less, this is greater than or equals to. If it's less than 137 and int credits is greater than or equal to 10, print you are not tall enough to ride. Okay, that should work. How tall are you in centimeters? How many credits do you have? Enjoy the ride. How tall are you in centimeters? I have 21 credits. You are not tall enough to ride. How tall are you in centimeters? How many credits do you have? You don't have enough credits. How tall are you in centimeters? How many credits do you have? You don't meet either requirement. Okay, yeah, it works. Yeah. That's it. That's how you do that. Simple enough. Confetti! Yay! 16. The sorting hat. Here's a recap of everything we've learned so far. Control flow is the order in which program code executes. The if statement tests condition. The elif statement is another if statement below the first one. And else is what happens if none of the ifs are true. The relational operators and the logical operators. Yes, here's a if, elif, else statement in action just in case. Now let's put all your learning instead to create your own quiz. The sorting hat is a magical talking hat at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The hat decides which of the 4 houses each first year goes to. Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin. Write a program that asks the user some questions with the int and input functions. Do you like dawn or dusk? If the answer is equal to 1, Gryffindor and Ravenclaw both get a +1. Else, if the answer is equal to 2, Hufflepuff and Slytherin both get a +1. Else, I put the message wrong input. Okay. When I'm dead, I want people to remember me as the good, the great, the wise, or the bold. Okay, and that's Hufflepuff, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Gryffindor. +2 for each one. What kind of instrument most pleases your ear? Print out the score for each house. Okay. If you want to go further, you can print out the house with the most points. Oh. This would require a loop. Okay, so we want int okay, so we need the variables for the 4 there. Okay. Do you like dawn or dusk? Okay. Okay, I like that. Do you like dawn or dusk? So I copy that. Had an extra space in there. When I'm dead, I want people to remember me as good, the great, Wise. The bold. Okay. Which kind of instrument most pleases your ear? Oop. Okay. The violin, the trumpet. The piano or the drum? Okay. And int. And that's the answer to the first, second, and third. And I can put, I can do this. Okay, and this is input. Okay. You like dawn or dusk? Okay. Okay. And then now we have the answers. Now we need to do logic on the answer. If int first answer is equal to 1 or equal to 2, that would require nesting. I could just do it like this. If int first answer is equal to 1, then what did I call this? Oh, we'll move this down while I am creating this logic here. Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. If it's 2, it's Hufflepuff. Oh, I also need to do this immediately after so that it will say incorrect input. And then, okay, ideally you would want to put this in a function that gets called, and if the incorrect input happens, it needs to break and recall the function. It needs to break and redo the question so they can put in the correct input. That would be error catching. I forget. No, not debugging. Error, yeah, just error control. There's a word for it. It left my brain space. Okay, and second answer. Okay. Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor. Okay. And then it's Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Gryffindor. Plus 4. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, this is a comparison. Not an assignment. Okay. Okay, didn't put incorrect input at the bottom there. Let's put... Oh, there it goes. Okay. So why did 7 trip it up? Okay, it goes. Okay, so far we are working well. We've got the logic and everything down, and it tells us if we put an incorrect input under each question, print out the score for each house. Your points are Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, okay, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin. Okay. And Slytherin. Okay. This bigger and run. Valid syntax. Oh. How did I do that? You like dawn or dusk? Dusk. When I'm dead, I want people to remember me as the Great. What kind of instrument most pleases my ear? I guess a piano. Your points are Gryffindor 0, Ravenclaw 0, Hufflepuff 5, Slytherin 3. Okay. Okay, and then I just need to find out, is there a function specifically to determine that? Yeah, it's called max. Okay. Yeah, so I can just use a max function. Okay, so I would need to do a comparison as well. So I can do max to get the largest number. Okay. Okay, so we want int largest num equals 0, and then after everything here, int largest num equals max of Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin. And then, if int largest num is equal to Gryffindor, okay, int Ravenclaw, int Slytherin, and then Slytherin and Hufflepuff. I'm gonna take a quick little break. I will be right back. Hello. I am back. Alrighty. What was I doing? Yes, we were doing the sorting. And that should be it. Let's see if this works. 2 1 1. Okay, so we have Slytherin 5. Oh, I misspelled it. Okay. We're going to say 7. 2 1. Okay, that was weird. 1 1 and 1. Okay, and this needs a new line in front of it. Okay, so if we put 5, incorrect input 5, incorrect input 5, incorrect input. But it didn't run entirely. Oh, yes it did. Okay. But it's switching you into Gryffindor. Oh. And int I need to add that to everyone like this. Okay. So now if we do 5, which is an incorrect input, and 5, which is an incorrect input, 5, we score no points and we're sorted into Hufflepuff. Okay. Because Hufflepuff takes everybody who's left. So it only tests to see if you're in Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. And if you're not in any of those, you're in Hufflepuff. And there is our code that does that, using mostly what we've learned so far. Just basic stuff. I went a little advanced right here by using max instead of writing a comparison thing, but yeah. Submit answer. Oh. Why does my answer look incorrect? Oh, is it just because I tested the outside range? Yeah, okay. It was because I was testing the out of bounds range. Nice. You got it. Yay. Huh. You're on your way to becoming a champ. There are many options to take in life, and now you can control the flow and direction. Uh-oh, there's a round table coming next. Better buckle up. A new badge, the road badge. Continue. Read the article. Ooh. Nested if statements. Yes, you can nest these guys. Ah, control flow. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. We have completed Hello World variables and control flow. Earned 3 badges out of 8 badges. Oh, and then we have projects that we can do. Oh, that's nice. And then at 685 experience, I guess I gain a level. And then I get a certificate for completing. And then here's my profile. Nice. Level 1. Still pretty much the same as it was before. We only completed 3 things. But yeah, so on Mondays and maybe Wednesdays, I'm not sure. Wednesdays might still be a day off, but definitely on Mondays during the morning time, we're going to be doing this and working through all of the Codédex stuff. And there may be weekend streams of Codédex as well, depending on how I feel. Yes. Right now, that's where I'm going to call the stream for a little while. We are going to start back up at 9 o'clock with the collaboration stream with Lady and Sunderfolk. Yes. Let's see if there's anybody out there in Twitch land that we can drop a quick little raid on while I go off and prep for the Sunderfolk raid. Hum. Who have we not rated in a bit? It looks like it's been a while since we dropped in on Ellie. He's playing Cult of the Lamb. So we will drop in on Ellie and her crowd control Cult of the Lamb, and I will be back at 9 o'clock with Sunderfolk. Yeah. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in just a few minutes. Nari out.